Alright, how's it going? Welcome back to another Chimps video. This time I'm gonna be handling one of the hardest maps in the entire game, namely Ouch. So this one ranks probably as high as number 4 at least in the game, only being behind Bloody Puddles, Muddy Puddles, Ravine, maybe also behind Quad, but yeah, we're gonna be doing this one on Chimps. So as you can see, I have completed it myself, and therefore I will be doing it in the content browser just to make my life a little easier. So if I somehow mess things up, I can go back to the last round. So yeah, I'll just I'll go here. Yeah, I think I can go back to the last round. So let me just lose real quick. Maybe if I'm in the challenge, I have to. Yeah, this is this is so confusing to me because this is a challenge, so I have to I need to. Where do I even go? I go to create, and then I go to new game. I think that's what I'm doing, and now I can retry the previous round. Otherwise, this makes no sense. Yes, I can. Okay, great. Yeah, so Ouch Chimps is an incredibly difficult map, and there has been a meta for it, and that is to go for the Grandmaster Ninja and get a lot of ninjas in the middle. It's not as easy as you may think. A lot of people have done videos on it, and I kind of struggle with it because it's kind of difficult to get all the placements right, and the earlier rounds are a pain in the ass. It's not for me. So I came by this video by DPD. This guy again that helped me with Floody Valley came with another strat, and his strat was actually pretty damn good. And with his strat, I was able to take this map down after a lot of tries because there's no getting around it. This map has a lot of RNG in it. You can find yourself losing on the most ridiculous of rounds if you're incredibly unlucky, which is possible. That's just how this game really is when it gets very difficult, that if your sub starts behaving badly, you will lose. If your sniper is behaving badly, you will lose. If your alchemist buffs the wrong tower, you will lose, etc. It's very it's not so likely that this will happen, but when I try this strategy, I lost on literally every single round. So I'm gonna tell you more about that once we get to it. We will be doing a sub dart start, so the dart, just get it as high as you possibly can, while you can get the sub with the curve on the right side. So as you can see in the ground, there's a slight curve there. Just make sure that you hit that and you should be fine. I haven't really gotten the placement perfectly, but that usually works. I just hope that it works this time. So we will be going for a carpet of spot. It does not work this time. Oh, it barely worked, okay. We will be going for a carpet of spikes, which is quite unusual, but this means that we will be getting an achievement, namely John is constant as well, next to the black border. So that's neat. There's a lot of strats on this map. With Chum Chum has done a few, Spiffy BTD has done quite a few, but they're too complicated for my taste, and they're very difficult to follow. Often they involve a lot of micro, and I've never been able to really replicate those. I guess I'm just not so good at the game as they are, but yeah. DPDD strikes back once again with a pretty decent strat, I must say. But alright, so let's get this guy on strong. It's possible that I messed up the placement and that I'll lose on round 8. I don't think so. But round 6 is usually not that close. But alright, so round 7 is a piece of cake. After round 8, we need to buy a second sub, otherwise we will lose. Alright, so we barely got that. That's neat. Round 8 is no problem. So alright, so let's get the other sub, but just make sure that you cover both of these areas, the bottom and the top, and you'll be good to go. It doesn't really matter exactly where you place it. And that's what I really like about this strategy. The early game is not difficult. And that's the thing. Often the end game, the early game is quite annoying, and you find yourself retrying it over and over and over. Right, so prepare the C key so we can place down a sniper, put this guy on strong, and then you can continue. Do note that there's you could actually get screwed over by fast speeding and going slowly. Not exactly in this moment, but later on there's the sniper can behave differently when you choose different speeds. It's really annoying, but it's actually the case. That's why I found myself losing on pretty much, as I said, any round. Bit of an exaggeration, but I've lost countless times in the 40s, 60s, 20s, etc. So we'll get to that. Anyway, so let's keep going. We will have enough money for Geraldo right away. Pretty much after this round. Just place him down here. Feel free to put him on strong, but I don't think you need to do that. It's just that you could lose round 15 if you're incredibly unlucky, which I have been quite a few times. So yeah, Carpet of Spikes. Shortly summarized, the subs will carry the early game, and then the sniper the mid game, and the Carpet of Spikes the late game. Alright, so next up we want to get the twin guns for the sub, so we can handle round 15. Let's put him on first, and then we can put the dart on strong. Probably don't need to do that, but why not? So be a little careful on 15. You should not lose, but if you are incredibly unlucky with the RNG, you can lose, and that has happened to me a few times. So just if you go slowly though, I don't think you can lose, because the sub and sniper, they're usually more accurate when the speed is lower, which is something I've noticed. So alright, so round 18 is a round I've lost a lot of times, so be a little careful here. Once the greens come in, just go very slowly and you should be fine. Just look at that. We're fine, but this sub here can actually miss and then we will lose. But we avoided that, luckily. So next up, we want to be getting the advanced intel, which you will be getting at the beginning of round 21. So what you want to do is to just spam the button, then you'll get it. You probably don't need it. I've survived round 21 without it, but you need it for round 22 at least. So now that we have the advanced intel, we should be covering more of the map. So we will be getting a druid here. Also, it's we're quite vulnerable down this lane, so it helps to get the druid. Now, let's get the night vision goggles. As you can see there, the Bloond it got quite far. I have never lost on round 23, but it's possible, probably. Alright, so next up is round 25, which I've also died to a lot. I figured out though that the best thing to do is to get the full metal jacket instantly, and then there's no way you will lose. But normally I would get the Thorn Swarm, and then I have lost a lot of times with unlucky RNG. So just get the full metal jacket first, and then you will be fine. Next up is the druid, which we want to place down there. And the next 3 rounds are quite comfortable. In fact, the 30s are pretty comfortable. The 40s a little trickier, but in reality, nothing is incredibly tricky or anything like that. It's just that you can be unlucky and lose for literally something that feels like no reason at all. That's what's so frustrating about this map. And as I said, I found myself losing numerous times to a bunch of bullshit, so I'm not exactly a big fan of this map. It's not so great to replay it, but whatever. Alright, so let's get the Druid of the Jungle for this guy, and we will be getting it for this guy as well, and then we'll get the triple guns. But before that, we want to make sure that we have camo detection for one of our towers, not just a sniper, which is gonna last 10 rounds, I believe. So you can give this invincibility potion to whoever you want. You can give it to the Druid, or this Druid, or Geraldo.
My friend?
Probably the sub, but that's quite risky for round like 37 or so. I prefer giving it to the Druid because it has more range. And we can also sharpen the darts of the sub, because the sub is gonna, as I said, gonna be the main carrier for the early game. Which is almost over, you could say, but yeah. Alright, so this Druid of the jungle, as you can see, we are in the early 30s, we haven't been close to losing yet, so all we gotta do is just be a little careful, and then you're good. If you're afraid, then you should just slow down, and that should be fine. Be a little careful. I know it's tempting, but do not really mess around with the upgrades, because you need the money for a later round, which we will get to pretty soon. Right, so the triple guns this round should potentially kill me if I'm unlucky. That was okay. Only the first batch is scary. The vines in the ground is gonna make sure you don't lose to the next batch of pinks right there. Something to keep in mind. Alright, so we're good to go now for the 30s. We will be getting a couple of villages. We will get this guy up to at least ceramic popping power. Alright, so let's place down the village. Right there. Grab the discount. And then we will be getting another village. Round 40 with Geraldo is no problem at all. In case you're worried about that, we can just place down a Maelstrom, and the druids will take care of the rest. Which is pretty neat. Usually round 40 is one of those rounds that you have to be very careful of. I remember when I tried to do round 40 back in the days of Path and all that, I lost numerous times on this round, so it's really nice that we don't have to worry about it. So all you do is that you place the Maelstrom down there, and there you go. That's basically it. Now we have the discounts, so we want to get the large caliber. Do not get the shrapnel, because you need the extra money for round 43, which will kill you so easily. It kills you incredibly easily. It has killed me many times for literally no reason. But I have died there, having the same exact setup. Everything has been the same, and I've died. And sometimes it's a breeze. It's so weird to me. It's this sub here that can absolutely mess you up for some incredibly stupid reason. But yeah, let's get the deadly precision. And after that, we want to be, during the round, we want to get the shrapnel shot. But before we do that, we want to just glue the glue right here, just 3 times, which is gonna make sure that you can't lose round 44 or round 43. So it's just gonna make everything a lot easier. So I prefer to do that, and then we can get the shrapnel. And as you can see, around 43 was a breeze, and that's basically just because of the glue. So next up is another sniper, and then we will be getting the fast firing and the night vision goggles. DPDD, or whatever his name is, I'll link to his video in the description, of course. He did not go for the glue, but because of all the times I died, I feel like that's the best thing to do, because those 300 bucks, they don't mean anything really at this point. And I forgot something very important. Ooh, that could have killed me there, but the glue saved me. That's something I've also forgotten. We need to give someone a camo detection. So I'll give it to Geraldo this time. Although you can give it to one of the druids. It doesn't matter, just make sure you give someone the camo detection. And get the bouncing bullet. And then you're good to go. DPDD also had this prioritizing camo, but I kind of want to avoid that if I can. So I prefer to just have it this way. So as you can see, no problem whatsoever with round 47, but those camos can be a little scary. If you do not have camo detection for one of your other towers, you are dead. Berserker Brew up next. We will be getting into 4-2-0 eventually. Just not quite yet, because round 50 is approaching, which means that we would like to have May Moab. That's gonna help us out a lot. You don't need it actually, but it's best to have it. It will be a little closer than you would like without it, so of course you should purchase it before you go for the stronger simulant or the jungle drums or whatever, which are gonna be our next upgrades. Alright, so round 49, main Moab right there. As you can see, no issues at all. One thing you want to do as well, you want to sharpen those bullets, which is gonna help out quite a bit. As you get 1 pierce, I believe it is. 1 damage and 1 pierce, or is that after the second one? At least you get 1 pierce. Damage might not happen just yet after the other one. But do that, go ahead and sharpen those starts, and after round 50, get the stronger simulant and then perishing potions. And next thing will be the jungle drums. And once we have obtained that, we will get the bunny, or we will start by getting the killer bunny, which is absolutely crazy. Just runs around the entire map, but very nice to have. You probably don't need it for this strat, but I would certainly prefer having it. I haven't tested not doing the bunny and going straight for the spike factory, but DPDD, he goes for the bunny, so because I'm following his strat, I'll do the same. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so next is the sniper, I believe. I want to get a third one, which is going to be very useful for round 63. There is pretty much no way you can lose, so bouncing bullet, faster firing, and we will also sharpen this guy's darts. And that concludes the snipers, but as you can see, they will carry us through the mid-game. Nice and easily. The glue also very helpful. It's essentially a slow down ninja. I don't even remember what they're called, but the mid path. The sabotage, the ninja sabotage, I guess it's called, yeah. It's pretty much that, so it's incredibly good. Let's get a couple of more rabbits. Preparing for the super rabbit. And as you can see, it's all a breeze. It's all a breeze. There's no need to be worried about anything. Everything are going as planned. This is going surprisingly smoothly. I haven't died once yet, and I died so many times when I tried to get the black border during these early rounds. I think I only got to late game like 80 plus, like 5 times or something, which is quite crazy because honestly that's the hardest part, but I somehow just always forgot about something. Alright, so round 59 can kill you if you have the worst possible RNG in the world, which I did have a couple of times. But it really shouldn't. It's just that if the alchemist buffs the top sniper, you don't have the popping power for the leads. But it really, that happens. That should not happen. And with the slowdown, you should be completely fine. As you can see, no issues there. But I somehow died on it twice, much to my annoyance. I was incredibly aggravated. I almost gave up on this strategy at some point, but I tried some other strategies and they were a lot more annoying. So this is the best strat I've come across, at least when it comes to consistency. I like that you actually get a run every time, and then you get an attempt. Alright, so I did get this bunny a little later than I probably should have, but it doesn't matter, you don't need it just yet. Anyway, we'll be getting the spike factory right here, just to place it down on this line here, just far away from this alchemist, and make sure you get the discount. So we faster production, even faster production, Moab shredder, and bigger stacks. Do not get the white hot spikes, because then you can't buff the spike factory with the sharpening stone, which means that you have pretty much lost, because that's an essential part of the strategy. Because the carpet of spikes carries the late game. So do not do that. If you don't do that, then you will be completely fine. Normally I've had the bunny at this point, but I forgot. So what you should do is to get the bunny a little faster, so you can get the bunny now. But as you can see, we don't have any issues, so it should be alright. But yeah, just foods for thought, I guess. Right, so we get the Killer Bunny right before round 63, but anyway, with those two guys right here, there is no way you can lose. Unless you have forgotten to get the jungle drums, make sure you have that too. And let's see how we annihilate this round. Just completely annihilation right there. They get a little far, but there's nothing to worry about. Although it looks spooky, obviously. Alright, so that's round 63. Next up, very important, we want to buff. Let's buy the Spike Storm first. We want to buff this Spike Storm for round 64, and that alone is going to be enough to take it down. But you could have incredibly shitty RNG and lose. That has happened to me, but it shouldn't happen. I also prefer not using this, the ability. I prefer using it around 65. But here, no issues at all. And this guy, that's what who you can thank for that. Or maybe the RNG gods, who knows. Alright, so next up is a rather peaceful next round. Just be aware of this round. Use the ability, there's no need not to, because you don't need the ability until round 71, and then round 75, and then maybe round 77. But DPDDD, he did not use it for round 77, but I've died on it like 3 times. Alright. Okay, maybe I didn't need it. We don't need it now. But in case you get afraid, use it. You can always go ahead and just put a Maelstrom there, but it's not necessary. It really isn't, unless you get very scared. I would prefer to just use the ability. If you do. But don't forget that you need it for round 71, so don't use it too close to round 71. And yeah, the Carpet of Spikes is bloody expensive. We get it on round 82. And things are looking good from there. Right, so we still have 2 pools of glue left. That's good. Don't need it yet, but it will be refreshing. The glue at some point, just to make the last rounds easier. It's worth noting that DPDD, he actually went ahead and he had 40k spare cash at the very end, which is very impressive, but it's far too inconsistent for us to do that. It makes no sense really to do that. It's basically just for show off and flexing a little bit. And there's no need to do it, it's just unnecessary, it's very risky. I've died numerous times on round 94 and stuff like that, so you should not do it. We will be spending the money on getting one of those guys to Elite Sniper and just some precautions along the way. Alright, so what you want to do now is that once you see that the Moabs gather up here in the middle, go ahead and use the ability, and there is no way you will lose. You probably might, or you probably don't have to use it, but it's better safe than sorry. I guess you can survive, but why wouldn't you use it? As I said, just do it. Round 75 though, that's the next important round, so don't have auto start on. But I think we probably could have, but it's not worth risking it. So once he's in level 15, it's time to sharpen all of these guys. So both of the snipers and the spike factory. And that's it. Round 74. It's so cheap, it's only 200 bucks. And it does make a pretty significant difference. Again, no white hot spikes. You will lose the buff. Alright, so with that, round 75 is gonna come pretty soon. For round 75, you wanna click on Geraldo, and you're gonna grab the jar of pickles, and you will use it for one of our snipers. And that should take care of it. And once you spot the BFBs, they start approaching the middle very quickly. Go ahead. All of the BFBs are there. Almost. Just in time. I almost lost there. Yeah, so make sure you use the ability. Maybe slightly earlier than what I did. and you will be fine. Round 76, no problem. Round 77, you will again use the ability. And we will save up for Carpet of Spikes, which we get on round 82. So here, go ahead, use the ability just to be on the safe side for round 77. Round 78 is no problems with our bouncing bullets. Always looks scary, but there is no way we can lose. Although they do get far. Probably put it on slow speed if you want. I'm too lazy for that. Although I could potentially risk losing. Don't want to lose, but at the same time I think it's good if I lose, because then I showcase what can actually happen if you're unlucky. But so far, luck has been on our side. I'm honestly quite surprised. Okay, so there's no need to worry about anything now. Just round 81 is quite spooky. 79 is also another fairly simple round. So just leave the BFBs there. They will get... It looks like it gets far, but no. It's all good. Round 79 is over. We start with round 80. Any second. And naturally the main Moab is gonna take care of that ZOMG quite easily. Remember, we still have the these guys, the Super Maelstorms. Use it to your own risk. What I mean by that is that you will be a few $100 short for the Carpet of Spikes upgrade. We're already 300 short in comparison to DEF. I even forget his name now. But yeah, you get the drill. But I feel like it's worth to get the glue so you don't lose on 63 and 64, which I have done numerous times already, for no explanation. So let's get the storm right there, and we should be fine. As I said, quite scary. Maybe you should even have the Maelstorm ready, just so you don't lose. But there's no way with these two BFBs, they're just too slow. And there you go, that's round 81 complete. We are almost there. So what you do is that you start round 82 and then you use the ability as soon as you possibly can, and then you upgrade it. So you just gain some time. Why not, right? So here, use the ability. And once things start popping, grab the Carpet of Spikes, and then we are good for round 82. Now is the final part of the run. What we will do next is, of course, buffing the Spike Factory. You don't need to worry about the ability for quite some time. Although it's always tempting to use it. You can always do it if you get spooked, but there is no need to. Alright, so let's just make sure that we get the Alchemist and then jump up anything else. So again, Stronger Simulant, Perishing Potion right there on the Spike Factory. Alright, so next up, before we continue, before we forget about the run, there's at least one upgrade that you have to get. And that is here, Girl Blocker, Radar Scanner, and then Monk Intelligence to row. That's gonna give us DDT popping power for those two guys and the Spike Factory. So obviously if you mess that up, then you will lose. So make sure that you have that. And what's next? Yeah, it's the Jar of Pickles for this guy, I think. And then we can watch as the 80s just go by without any problems whatsoever. So the guy I'm following, what he did from here is that he got the two genies at the very end, and he he gave jar of pickles to these two guys, and that was about it, I think. So actually, we can do whatever we want with our money. And what I want with our money, first of all, is to get this guy up to the supply drop and elite elite sniper. That's gonna be very helpful. And after that, you can get, again, the sabotage. You can even grab one of the buccaneers if you want. Just to, I might as well use the ability for round 87. Don't like the COMGs. Always a little spooky. Yeah, let's get the supply drop when we can. There you go. It's gonna increase the popping power a little bit. Yeah, just things to make it just a lot easier, although you can beat it without it. We do not want to rely on RNG and a little bit of luck and ability timing, because I think the ability timing is a little important when you press this, etc. And honestly, it was far too inconsistent, so let's just not deal with that. So around 90 as well, there's no need to worry. With DDTs, they're not a problem at all in this run, which is also very nice for a change. Everything is so simple, I love it. Now that I'm going through this again, I'm just not nervous at all. So that's round 91. Things do get a little far, but it's okay. Round 92 still goes by. But round 94 is the spooky round. Round 92, use the ability there when you see the COMGs. That's a little scary. You should be fine, but use the ability there. Alright, so now we have lost our jar of pickles, so you know what that means. Use the jar of pickles, but we want the jar of pickles not just for the spike factory, but also for the couple of snipers we have right here. That's incredibly important. We can't use the sharpener because we have sharpened every single tower that we want to sharpen. Round 93 is a breeze, but round 94 is perhaps the hardest round in the run. At least according to my experience. Maybe it's gonna be different for you, but for me that was the trickiest one to get right. Right, so with 15,000 we can get the elite sniper, which we will be getting. Put him on first. Now I want to glue a little bit. So apply glue here, apply glue here, and apply glue here. Feel free to use this as well if you want. A couple of chilies. Why not? For the sub and the Geraldo, maybe, I don't know. Just use whatever you want. You will have the blade maelstrom at your disposal as well. The clue here is to use the ability exactly after this guy has given you spikes. So once the Moabs start gathering here in the middle and this guy throws out spikes, what you do there is then to press the button once again to gain more spikes. You can use the potion as well to get the ability back if you get very spooked. This will be alright, but the potion will be gone for the rest of the run. But I assure you, round 98 should not be an issue, so feel free to do that as well. I'll not do it, just for the sake of it. But yeah, let's take it slowly, and let's hope that... Right, so he does it, and then we do it again. More spikes. Sorry for that. And hopefully it works out. Otherwise, I might be a little screwed, because all of the spikes, they will be gone. But as you can see, it gets quite close. We have two COMGs right here at the very end. But I think we should be fine, because they're incredibly slow and completely immobilized by the main Moab. There we go. The Moab's completely demolished, and round 94 is taken down, because again, the elite sniper is pretty damn good. I think that changes it entirely. So with that, we have we're done with the hardest run. So now you can... Okay, don't relax just yet. 96 is also a little scary. But round 95 is at least no problem, because the spikes, take care of the PvT router easily. If you want, go ahead and get one of these guys. Monkey pirate ship, so you can hook in one of them. Ooh, that got scary. That was a little scary. I pressed the ability there. What? Huh. Bad RNG? I don't know. Feel free to get one of these guys, or maybe you should get one of these guys, I don't know. Then hook in one BFB if you want. Alright, so what I did there was probably quite silly, so I'm gonna head and use a potion just to make sure that I have the ability there. You probably shouldn't use the ability, but if you feel like you must, then go for it. Go ahead and grab another one of these guys. Maybe use it on the dart monkey. Whatever. Yeah, use it on a dart monkey. It doesn't really matter, but there's no reason why you should not get it. And again, the same thing applies. Use this ability after this guy throws out a lot of spikes. Round 96 is very tricky. There's a lot of BBs in the beginning. You can hook one in if you want. I prefer to hook the fortifies ones in. And right here, we go ahead and use the ability. And then, just to be on the safe side, we will grab a potion right here because it's round 96 after all. Little scary. Go ahead, use the ability again. And yeah, we should be fine. I think now we have enough spikes to deal with whatever is getting thrown at us right here. There's a few so my gods at the end. There should be no match for our towers, but hook in one of them BFBs if you want. The fire helps out a lot, I think, as well. Hook one of them in. It looks very scary. I'm a little spooked as I'm sitting here. I guess I'll grab the Maelstrom. But no, there's no need to worry. There is no need to worry at all. Okay, why shouldn't you use it? Since I'm doing the guide, I'll not use it, but if you get scared, then do use it. But there was no need to. Everything is under control. Alright, so that was round 96. What can you even get at this point? You can get a sabotage, I guess, for her. No. Why did I get him there? Okay, I guess that's fine. As long as it's not in the rage of the alchemist, that would have been pretty tragic. Right, so we can get this guy.
Yes.
We have used both of the potions, but that's alright. Round 97 is, of course, easy with the slows on my gods. So you can hook in a fortified BB if you want. We might as well just do that. So why not, right? Hook one of those in. Of course, they got destroyed very quickly, so didn't really matter. We only have one place to glue for round 98, but that's not a problem. And now we get both of the genies. Ooh, that's a little tight on the money side. That's very important that you get those, by the way. If you don't get those, you are gonna lose. I think, at least it's likely that you lose. So do not go crazy overboard with upgrades either, because you need the money for these two guys. And aside from that, I think we should be fine. The same thing applies again. Once the Moab starts gathering in the middle, you press the... and then this guy releases all of the spikes, you press the ability. And then it should be okay. And now, remember that you can also slow down the Moabs as well with the sabotage, so it should be... really should be a walk in the park from here. Alright, so let's just wait until he releases the spikes. He does that right now, the ability, and then we slow things down a little bit, just to be on the safe side, and that should be it. They're not getting that far, as you can see. No problem. Everything complete under control is exactly what I like. Maybe hook in one of those BFBs, but there's no need to, because round 98 has also been taken down. Excellent, so that's round 99. The reason why you get these on round 98 is because you need them for round 99 and round 100. So round 100 is very straightforward. Feel free, get whatever you want. That's gonna do 2 damage. You don't need anything though, but if you want to, you can get something. Just after this guy releases the spikes, we do it again. You can even slow it down if you want, but there's no need to do it because it's easily taken care of, and that's ouch on Chimps, pretty much. And that went surprisingly smoothly, my first recording and everything, so it seems like after I did it, finally, after all of those attempts, I kind of got the strategy nailed down there. So that's it. You should definitely milk this one while you still can. They will definitely patch him, I think. And that includes Ouch. I'll probably try my luck on Muddy Puddles, Bloody Puddles, and Ravine. Those 3 maps are ridiculously hard though. They are like 1 step ahead of Ouch, I think. And the quad also. So that will be fun if we get to that, but that's it for this video. So if you enjoyed, please let me know, or let me know if the strategy worked. A fairly lengthy video, but anyway, such is the reality when we deal with a map such as Ouch. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.